Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Summit Spotlight. I am your host, Andrea Ritter, and I am so excited. We have a very special guest today, Elizabeth Edgar. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So, Elizabeth, unfortunately or fortunately for us, you are the queen of COVID, and you are making sure that our district is staying safe and healthy. And so I know that everyone is grateful to have you with us. So we have a lot of communications going out about various things around COVID and staying safe and healthy this season. And so today, should we start with screening testing, since that's coming up this week and we can kind of go down the line?
Sure. We are starting to partner with the state on COVID screening testing. So communication went out last week to all the schools. So staff and students are now eligible, if they want to sign up, to receive a free voluntary screening test at school. So it's a COVID antigen rapid test. So it'll be a nasal swab. Results will come back in about 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's quick. Again, it's voluntary if staff and students want to sign up. There are incentives for students who sign up. So students who participate in the weekly testing, the first week of testing, they are eligible for a $25 cash gift card, and then the subsequent weeks they're eligible for a $10 gift card, and those will get mailed out at the end of the month to their mailing address. So that's kind of exciting and new. We will be starting this week on Friday at Summit Middle School in Snowy Peaks. And then the following week, we'll start rolling out at the other schools. So it's a little bit dependent on what school your child is at and our registration numbers. But the game plan is we will have weekly testing at all the schools moving forward.
That is awesome. So stay tuned for more information coming out directly from your schools. And I, just as a parent, I'd love to know just what are some benefits for children and, all the students to, do the serial testing.
Right. So the serial or screening testing program is seen as one of the best practices in kind of mitigating COVID this school year, because we are still in a COVID pandemic situation, but we're doing everything we can to keep kids in school and continue with in-person learning. So this is a recommendation that's coming from experts at the national, state, and local level. So some of the benefits with the screening program, we're actually testing staff and students that are asymptomatic or people who don't have symptoms, because probably people have heard sometimes people will test positive even though they don't have symptoms. So this just gives us an idea. Are there a lot of people that we're not aware of walking around with COVID that might be spreading it? Identifying them early on. So it could be a situation where someone goes in for a screening test, tests positive, whereas they may have started having symptoms that showed up a few days later. So we're catching it earlier. So the idea is to catch some of those folks that might be COVID positive and pull them out of school so they're not spreading it without kind of even being aware.
Well, it sounds like a great idea to me. So again, this is voluntary. You have all the information. You can sign up at any time. And you can also opt out of those incentives. And just as a aside, those incentives are coming from the state, not from the school district. So we just want to make sure everyone's clear about that. And so on to the next, Elizabeth. So we have clearance for kids, is it 5 to 11?
Yes.
To receive the vaccine. And so we are working with public health to put on some vaccination clinics. Do you want to share a little more about that?
So this is also really exciting. So this went out in communications as well on Friday. So the end of last week was like a lot of news for Summit School District and our world of COVID. But yes, so there is emergency approval now for a vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. So our public health and local health organizations have started ordering that vaccine so that we have it. So we have a clinic going on this week in partnership with public health. There are a couple clinics next week with the Summit County Care Clinic that will be hosted at school sites. So information will be going out about those. One caveat is our partner agencies are waiting for those vaccines to come in. So there might be a little bit of a delay in getting some of that, but those vaccines should be getting shipped and should be here soon. And so moving forward, it should be pretty easy for our 5 to 11-year-olds to sign up to get vaccinated as well. So that is very exciting because up until now, it's just been 12 and older.
So this week, we're going to start at Summit Middle School. We have a vaccine clinic from 3 to 6. It appears at this point that it's all full. They will be taking a few walk-ins, from what I understand, but I wouldn't necessarily depend on that. But just stay tuned. Check out Public Health's website for more of those dates, and we'll be sharing that as well.
Right.
And then a couple more little pieces. We just want to remind everyone to and say thank you for wearing your masks on the bus and at school, because this is what's keeping our kids safe and healthy and in school. So if you want to share any more about that, that would be
Right. Huge thank you to staff and students for wearing masks. That turns out to have been a really smart decision by the school district to go ahead and start with masks this school year. At the state level and at the national level, they are finding that schools that are requiring masks to be worn during school are seeing fewer numbers of positive COVID cases and less spread. So while we still have COVID in the community and it's still something that we're dealing with, we do feel like wearing masks has helped to slow the spread and or prevent cases. It's also helped us, you may have noticed, we've done a lot less, we've had a lot less quarantines. So just keeping kids in school, if we're doing some other mitigation strategies like the masks, we are able to avoid some of those quarantines that we were doing a lot of last year. So it really is our number one goal to keep kids in school and continue with in-person learning. We're just trying to balance that in a world of COVID and do the best we can to keep everybody safe. So thanks for wearing your masks. That will continue until, if it changes, we will let you know, but for the near future, yes. Thanks for wearing those masks to school, on the buses, in classes, adults and students.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. And then finally, one more friendly reminder about how we can mitigate the spread of COVID.
Yes, so a really big part of our strategy this year is just asking parents and students if your student has symptoms, any COVID-like symptoms, whether they're a major symptom like a cough or a fever, or a very minor symptom like a runny nose, congestion, sore throat, all of those are COVID symptoms. So we're asking people to stay home. So I know we're entering into cold and flu season. There could be lots of other explanations for symptoms, but we just don't know. So if those symptoms continue and persist, we ask that students get a test. The screening testing will help us kind of keep up with testing, but right now there is free community testing at the Senior Center in Frisco and the Silverthorne Rec Center. You can go in and get a free PCR test. Some of our local health providers are providing tests as well. But yeah, if those symptoms continue past a certain point, we are asking staff and students to get tested before they return back to school. So we're just erring on the side of caution, and we ask that parents help us with that as well.
That is awesome. Elizabeth, thank you so much. Elizabeth will be back with us periodically just to share more updates, because we're always trying to stay on top of it, but thank you for helping to keep all of us safe and healthy.
Yeah.
And as we enter into the holiday season, we hope all of you stay safe, healthy, and well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.